Hello, my friends on LinkedIn and YouTube. Happy Friday Eve day to you. I'm waiting on, as you know, there we go, the StreamYard to connect into my free Facebook group. If you're not in that group, you need to be. What are you doing with your life? It is called Be a Confident Entrepreneur. Get visible and grow your income and your email list. So you need to come join us. And I'm going to make sure that I can see the comments. All right, let's kick this thing off officially. Happy Friday Eve day to everybody out there. You know how I do things every week. I am live using StreamYard. I've got my YouTube channel. Love you if you're coming in from there. Be a subscriber. LinkedIn, going live right now. If you're coming to me from LinkedIn, let us know and hit the bell so you never miss a notification of one of my posts. And then in my free Facebook group called Be a Confident Entrepreneur. So today's going to be really great. And I'm going to start with a confession. SEO, search engine optimization, SEO makes my brain hurt. Yes, that's my confession. I said it. It just feels enormous to me. Where do I start? How do I research? Am I even doing it right? Tell me in the comments, even if you're coming to us on replay, does anybody else feel that way? Well, I'm in luck, and so are you, because my guest today is my friend and expert with a capital EXPERT, Carrie Saunders. And she's going to take all of this SEO pain away for all of us. Just in case, though, we are brand new to each other, I want to introduce myself. My name is Tracy Beavers. I'm an award-winning business and sales coach. I'm also a host of the top-ranked podcast, Create Online Business Success. And if you're coming to me from the podcast, thank you for being a listener. I teach all organic visibility and list growth strategies, and I've coached hundreds of entrepreneurs just like you guys to get visible, grow your email list, get more leads, so you get that consistent monthly income that you really, really want. And the strategies that I teach are different. They get your list growth and leads coming in automatically every day in the background of your business without paid ads or creating a truckload of free lead magnets. So Carrie is in the house. Let me introduce her. Oh, and by the way, if you put your questions and comments into the chat, we will look at those at the end so neither one of us gets distracted because you know I'm looking at my notes. And then if you're coming to us on replay, let us know that. And if you have a question or a comment and I can't answer it, I will find Carrie and she will swoop in and answer it for you then. All right. My friend, Carrie Saunders, she is a tech-savvy entrepreneur, and that is just an understatement. When you get to know her, you will know she is way more than tech-savvy. She is the host also of a top-ranked podcast, two actually. The business one is called Smarter Online Business. And Carrie, remind me, the second one is The Gluten-Free Engineer. Is that right?
Yes, that's right.
Okay, awesome. So if you guys have celiac, gluten-free people in your life, go check out The Gluten-Free Engineer with Carrie. She and her family have lived gluten-free for years, and she's got some great tips. But that Smarter Online Business podcast, it's perfection. And she is a website conversion nerd, which makes me so thankful for knowing her. And she's been in the online business game since 2002. Okay, that's a freaking long time. She is best known for helping e-commerce businesses and course creators like us simplify their tech, thank you, Jesus, and turn more of the traffic that we're getting into paying customers without wasting a bunch of time, without a bunch of fluff, without a bunch of tricks and gimmicks and guesswork. And she's also known for saving my sorry butt on way more than one occasion when I have messed up my tech. We started calling it Saved by Saunders because that literally, I would like send up the bat signal. Carrie, I screwed it up. Carrie'd be like, oh my God, for the millionth time. And thankfully, she did not fire me as her friend. Carrie, do you want to share your fun fact with everybody?
Sure. One of my fun facts is I love helping raise monarch butterflies. Monarchs will come to my garden and then I will scoop them up when they hatch and like help nurture them indoors. And I also love playing piano and playing video games with my kids. So I'm like, I'm kind of a nerd there, but I also am very creative with like piano and music playing. I also play clarinet and several other instruments too.
Don't you play French horn too?
I play mellophone, which is the marching version of the French horn, but
Got
my
it.
son plays French horn.
Oh my gosh, you guys are
But I
so
can play French horn, but just not as well as he can.
I love it. And also, you ran a triathlon recently, or about 6
Oh,
months ago?
yes. Yes, about 6 months ago, and I'm planning to do it again in the spring.
Oh my stars. Oh, I followed that journey and I was so inspired. It's like you are such an amazing individual. The monarch butterfly thing we're going to have to talk about on a different interview because
Yeah.
that sounds fascinating as well.
I think I got my earrings on today, so
Love
for
it.
those who can see.
Oh, and if you guys see any cats in the background, those are Carrie's cats. Mac and cheese, right?
Mac and brie.
Mac and brie.
A specific kind of cheese. That way we weren't calling her cheese.
Mac and Brie, they're super cute and they try to eat her money plant that's behind her. If you're coming to us on YouTube, you can see that. All right, let's talk about SEO because it feels enormous to me. So, what do you say to someone like me who it just makes my eyes glaze over and I don't even know where to start?
So I feel like what really helps people kind of grasp what SEO is we need to like not be afraid of it, one, okay, because it's not as hard as it used to be. Okay. We need to think of it as we're writing a topic for one of our teachers in school. So SEO is like you, we want to make sure that we're clear what our topic is, what
Uh-huh.
who we serve, our benefits. So, and we need to also think about it one page per topic.
Okay.
So, maybe you do a whole bunch of things, right? But you're not going to put that all in one report to your teacher, right? Each report's a specific topic that you guys have picked and agreed to. So
Okay.
each page on your website should be one topic. So
Okay.
one type of service or one type of product or one question from your customers or people, people who work with you. So
Mhm.
each page needs to be one topic. And then we need to structure it more like an English paper too, where we have the topic like we're talking about. Then we need
Right.
to have the heading, which supports the topic. And then we need to have subheadings, which are called H2s. The main heading is called an H1. Usually you can pick this in any of your softwares out there. That's what makes it so much easier now is you can pick these heading types. So pick the biggest heading for your first heading and then this next layered heading next. And that's your supporting heading ideas. And then
Okay.
underneath those headings, you're going to have supporting paragraphs to support that main topic. So it's just like you're writing an English paper. We need to not squirrel and not go off onto other tangents and topics on a page. Otherwise, it confuses Google and Bing and it confuses your customer. Think about it. If you're reading it, you want it to be very cohesive and not talk about all the many wonderful things you do. One
Okay.
topic per page. That's probably the hardest thing is like one topic per page. I can't say that more enough.
Yeah, that would be hard for me for sure
Yeah.
because I tend to squirrel. Okay, so one topic per page. We consider it kind of like we're writing a report for a professor,
Right.
right?
Right.
Okay, that makes it super simple. So let's talk about how because here's the next question after we talk about what to put on the website and the messaging there, how does that messaging and the SEO go together? Because that's something that when I was preparing for this interview and we were talking about your questions that would be good for me to ask you, that was a great question. I was like, oh, I'd never even thought about that. The messaging that we're using in the SEO, how do those things go together?
Right. So what we need to be thinking about in your own customer words, what are they asking? What are they asking you? What are they asking on social media? What are the words they're using when they're confused? Usually they're confused about a topic that we help people with, right?
Yeah.
And so what are they asking? Pull exact phrases from them. You know, how do I improve my search engine optimization? Would be a perfect phrase for me to use.
Yes.
For you, how do I increase my business visibility online? Now,
Mhm.
those are very long. It's called a long tail keyword. Those are, more than like words, right?
Right.
But long tail keywords are really easy, relatively speaking, to optimize for than just the word business visibility
Yeah.
or
That makes sense.
yeah, or search engine optimization. There's just so much competition. But when we get really narrowed down and really focused on an actual phrase we see our clients and our potential clients using,
Uh-huh.
that's going to be a lot easier to rank for. Plus, whenever they read that, they can connect with it much better. It's
Mhm.
not fluffy, it's straight to the point, it's very clear, it's not clever. And that makes it clear for your customers, which then makes Google happy because Google, the ultimate goal of Google and the major search engines, Bing too, is they want to serve their customers, which are the people searching on their platforms,
Yeah.
things that are relevant to them, things that make those customers happy.
Mhm.
So when you're servicing your direct customers, you end up servicing the search engines as well, and that'll make them happier.
Okay. And then they're more
And
likely to show your stuff.
right, right. And then we want to make sure that we have um, that same focus. So like say you have a services page, you're going to want to talk about who do you serve, what's the benefit to it, and why do they need the thing. um, and we want to talk about benefits versus features, because usually people talk about the benefits themselves, like, I want to increase my visibility online. That's a benefit. It's not necessarily your one-to-one service. That's kind of like the features and the details of what you do, how you get them that result. But we want to talk more results based and more benefits based
Mhm.
in our wording on our pages. So that can really help too.
Okay. Love that. So when we need to keep in mind that we want to use clear messaging, not clever.
Right.
And we want to use messaging that would benefit us, but also the search engines to make them happy. So they're more likely to serve up our stuff.
Right. Right. When you're very clear to the search engines and what you do and who you serve, they are much happier about it.
Got it. Got it. Okay. Let's talk about a blog for a second, because blogs have been around for a long, long time. You probably know way better than I do how long. I'm not a super fan of a blog. I don't read them. But I have a lot of clients and students that love them, and that's their preferred piece of regular weekly content. So let's talk about blogs for a second. Are blogs dead? Do they still work? Do we have to have one to get really great SEO? Like, give us the scoop on that.
Sure. That's actually one of my most popular podcast episodes. Are blogs dead? That's one of my most popular episodes. So go find that on Smarter Online Business too. But in general, blogs aren't dead. One, they help you with search engine optimization. They help you with customer trust. When you are being an authority and being
Mhm.
um, very clear in your messaging on a blog, it can really build that trust. It can show your knowledge. It can show that you find the customer in your website important. So the one nice thing about the blog is it's something, even if you only do it once a month. So let's say blogs are kind of scary, but you
Yeah.
do want to do it. I recommend once a month minimum. Don't feel like you have to do it weekly. But
Okay.
what that does is it creates a new page on your website once a month. Google sees that and sees, oh, they're active on their website still. They're still creating new content. They actually care about what they do. So it kind of piques the interest of Google bots.
Okay.
It also shows customers when they go to your website, oh, they have a new piece of content here. They're
Mhm.
not just a stagnant business that's not doing anything at all. It's kind of like our social medias. Whenever we post and ghost and never come back for like a long time, that can, taint our reputation. But when we're regularly, even if it's only once a week, posting, or maybe once a month, as long as it's pretty regularly. I feel like more than once a month is a little better on social, but it at least shows that you care, that you're there, that you're not just some fly by night thing.
Mhm.
So blogs can really help you there. Now, if you're not one to be a blogger, you
Mhm.
can turn that YouTube video, let's say you do YouTubes or you do podcasting, make a little short page about the topic that you're talking about in that, media form,
Mhm.
and use alt tags. It's called alternative text. You'll see it in your platform whenever you're uploading a video or image. Don't ignore the alt tags. How about that? That's like one big major tip. Don't ignore the alt tags. That is there to help the search engines know what that media is about. And
Okay.
it's a great way to boost your SEO. So
Got
be very descriptive and very clear again here with your alt tags for media. So I kind of went into a little squirrel there with the alt tags because I wanted people not to ignore them. I see that happen so much,
I'm
but
probably doing that. So
yeah,
when you're saying like, and not to interrupt you, but I do have
no
a question.
problem.
So I put my replays of these lives on my website under the replay tab. So I'm uploading the video and I'm doing the thumbnail. Is that where I need to be doing the alt text?
Yes, the alt text should be where you're uploading the video. Yes.
Shoot. Okay. I'm not doing that. And so so what would I put there? Give us an example.
Well, let's say for this one, the title is, I'm not sure exactly what title you're giving this one, but how do we boost SEO in a non-scary way? But I've just made that up, right?
I
So
like
just
it.
put that there. Just simply put what is your main topic? What is your title of that video? You
Okay.
can repeat that in there. So you don't have to even really be too creative about it. Just repeat the same thing, especially if your title is constructed in a way that it's clear as
Uh-huh.
to the benefit to the person that wants to watch the video or listen to the podcast episode. So you can just reuse that title. but you should have something.
Okay. So even if, because like I've been ignoring my blog, and you know this because y'all used to do my blog, and now we're talking about it. I think Carrie, I need to. I'll be voxering you later and saying, Carrie, can we add this back on? But for somebody who's scared of a blog and doesn't have it, but they do video like I do, all is not lost, because it sounds like I have been missing the SEO boat, not using the alt text on these videos, right?
Right. Yes. And you could even, if you wanted to be a little bit fancier, have an individual page for the replay, which I can't quite remember if you do or not,
I do.
and do like a summary below it of your key points. What's in your video? Why would somebody want to take their time and watch it?
Okay.
So you can, have a small paragraph, 3 to 5 sentence paragraph about the video, and that would be potentially enough for Google to pick up and start seeing some interest in that page.
Okay. Interesting. All right. What other hot tips do you have for us before we talk about the next thing that's on my mind?
Well,
I'm being
one
totally
thing.
selfish in this interview, by the way, y'all. Carrie
Oh,
solved
that's
my
no
problem.
problem. Yeah. So then here's something that I find a lot. A lot of people have an FAQ, right, on their website, especially service providers and people who are coaches and help people. So in those FAQ sections, use actual customer questions for the question.
Okay.
So that can help them find that question when they're searching, and
Mhm.
then find your FAQ page, or the chunk of your page. So that's a little tip and something easy. So just add a little bit more thought to it when you're making your FAQ to make sure it's worded from your customer's perspective and the questions and the words they would use. So don't use words that they wouldn't use.
Okay.
And then you can also create pillar pages. So that's kind of like your core content pages. What are the core things you do? How do you serve people? How do you, um, you know, what is your business about? So you do one-on-one services. You also have a course, and you have the group coaching after the course. So you can have core pages about each one of those things and talking about the benefits of those things.
Okay.
And having separate pages for each one helps focus the target person who would want that type of service. So somebody might not want your course. They might want one-on-one instead. Somebody
Right.
might prefer the course and a DIY, type of option instead of one-on-one.
Mhm.
So that helps really focus things. So I like to make sure that you might have a page with all of your services, but make sure they link to a pillar page that's just about just that service.
Okay. Okay.
'Cause
Gotcha.
that'll help you a lot.
Yeah.
And then one little quick tip too is, I kind of alluded to it there, internal linking. That's very important to Google,
Okay.
because a customer is not going to click more than 3 clicks, very likely, to find any one thing on your site. And Google won't crawl much deeper than 3 either. It can, it just won't, because it knows customers won't, and it feels like it's not important if it's a really far down buried
Yeah.
site, or,
That's interesting.
page,
Mhm.
right?
Mhm.
So making sure that you are internally linking to relative things within your site. One thing that I see sometimes for people who do blog and blog well, they're missing one key piece, is they don't have somewhere like down the side where it gives archives, like,
Okay.
August 2025 blogs or April 2025 blogs, or, and then they have to, somebody to find a blog, say months ago, they would have to click on page 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, all the way at the bottom. And like, it's a bunch of clicks to get to,
Uh-huh.
like, something back, 6 months ago. It could be still relevant to the customer. It could still be relevant to Google's giving you results. So making sure that blog posts aren't buried and that's easy to get 2 clicks or less. Usually you can get it 2 clicks or less,
Uh-huh.
for a blog post, so that Google can still find it and find it relevant for you.
Got it. Oh my gosh. Okay. So that's a great tip. So if we have a blog, we need to do the archive thing on the side. That makes perfect sense. Why?
Yeah, and in worst case, it's by month. Otherwise, or you can be by topic if you want to be a little bit fancy, but
Yeah.
at least by month and year.
Yeah. That's a hot tip. Let me ask you this. This is not something I told you I was going to ask you, but I know you know the answer. This is what I've heard about website pop-ups. When you go to a website and you're on it for a minute, and then all of a sudden you have the pop-up window. So I had heard that the pop-up needs to be after someone's been on the site like 25 to 30 seconds in order to allow Google to crawl. Is that true?
It kind of depends on how the pop-up is coded, technically. But think about it too. It's nicer. Like, as a
Yeah,
person, do you really want that pop-up right away?
yeah,
And Google also sees that too. So if you, like, inundate your pages with tons of pop-ups or, like,
yeah,
ones that are just in your face, that's not a good quality website. So Google will see that and Google will be like, no, I don't really like this website that much."
right.
So, yes, having the delay is very good, or having it upon a click is really good too. So, yes, even though you can get around the Google crawling it with a pop-up over top of it, because I know there's some sites that do that, because they sell, certain types of products that you need to have a pop-up before you get into the site, um, that you can still crawl those, but it's just not good customer service for our
Yeah,
general public here or businesses.
yeah, it doesn't feel good to have them just
No.
and the ones that annoy me are the ones that are like pop up, I clear it, and there's another one. It's like, "But wait,
Right.
there's more." And I'm like, "Stop." Yeah, and then I
I
just
just
look.
Yeah, because you
Yeah,
wanna see if you trust the website before you go any further, and
yeah,
that just breaks the trust right there, and it breaks their concentration of what they were looking for.
yep. A hot question I've heard a lot lately, and this is one I have also, is can something like ChatGPT really give you quality SEO keywords? Or is it kind of just a great starter package for SEO keywords and you really need to be doing some research with like SEMrush and Ask the Public and all the other ones? What are your thoughts on that?
So, just like all those other tools you just mentioned, ChatGPT is a tool, and
Mhm.
we should use it in an appropriate way. And the fact that it's really great at giving you ideas and refining what you're looking for, and refining, maybe doing some research for you on what your customers might be talking about on the internet. And so here's one thing I do recommend many times when you're doing research, especially with ChatGPT, and something I've been doing a lot lately, is ask it to give you references when you ask a question of it, especially if you need to fact check some stuff. And it will
Okay.
give you links to websites, and then you can go look and double check yourself.
Okay.
That being said, you can use ChatGPT to give you topic ideas and give you things like that, but it's not a replacement for SEO completely, but it can help you understand your audience better. So when you use it more to help understand your audience better, you're going to naturally find better keywords for it, and before what you're doing. So
Okay.
it's definitely not a replacement. It's
Right.
don't sometimes it can over optimize, especially if you haven't trained it very well. It might stuff the keyword too much. That's kind of old
Yeah.
black hat SEOs, where you're keyword stuffing, which means you put your keyword like a ton of times on a website unnaturally. So
Right.
everything that comes out of ChatGPT, if you do use it to write blog posts, which you can, and obviously refine it and revise it afterwards, just make sure it's sounds like you, it's natural,
Mhm.
it's just gotta make sure it's you. It's a great assistant and helper, but it
Yeah,
shouldn't
totally.
do the it shouldn't do 100% of the stuff. How about that?
No, it always serves up way too many emojis and those M dashes that are super annoying. I'm like, if you give me
Yes,
more M dash, I'm gonna lose my mind. Yeah,
yes.
no, I do agree with you on that, and you know that, as a list growth person, the one thing on the blog that they people do not need to forget is a call to action that leads to your email list.
Mhm.
Um, but okay, so let me ask you this, and then we'll move on. There are people that have created custom GPTs and claim that they do SEO keyword research. Based on what you're saying, that doesn't sound like it's possible.
It can get you started, how about that? It's
Okay,
not gonna be the end all be all,
okay.
because those specialized tools for now are
Uh-huh.
specialized in what they're doing, and they're specialized in finding how many people are searching for this keyword, how
Mhm,
many competitors are for the keyword. So whenever you're looking at a keyword or keyword phrase,
mhm.
you need to be looking at, are there a decent number of searches for it
Okay.
and not a super ton of competition. And when I'm talking about a super ton is like, when you do, so, like, you can go to Google and you can search for your keyword phrase,
Mhm.
and then there's this little icon that's kinda hiding that says tools, and then you can see how many results show up for that keyword phrase. Well, you might see a couple million. That's actually still small. If you're seeing, like, tens or hundreds of millions or billions, then that's actually really large, and we gotta look at the scale too. So even though if it says a couple million, search something else and kinda compare and, get a feel for that. But
Got it.
we've gotta have the balance of, you know, how many people are searching for it versus your competition. And whenever those are balanced right, it's easier to go up in the rankings a bit faster.
Got it. Got it. Okay. I know I'm looking in the Facebook group. Catherine has a question. She said she's got three. She said she has three broad categories. Maybe she means for her blog. When you go to those, there's a sidebar with hashtags and keywords. Should I have the sidebar in my primary blog page? And is the tag keyword idea a good one?
The tag keyword idea usually works pretty well, especially most modern systems will um, kind of bring you to a smaller set of results when you do that.
Okay.
The three broad categories is probably fine. So I'm assuming she said she's got the three broad categories. You can click on one and then get the tag. So that's still only about 3 clicks. So that should be a fine layout. Yeah.
Okay, cool. All right, Catherine, great question. If you have more questions, Carrie is in my free group also. You can just post the question and ask, tag her, and she'll swoop in and answer it for you. She's real good like that. Send up a bat signal like I do. She answers those too. Okay, so it sounds like, because I was going to ask you, what's one thing that we could all do this week to improve? But it sounds like we've given people quite a few things to think about. First of all, if they're doing videos on a replay page like I am, I was making notes, by the way. I need to have
that.
I need to do the alt text thing to describe what it is. I should probably summarize my key points underneath it. And then the importance of a blog. Blogs are not dead. And if you
Right.
have a blog, I love the tip you gave about the sidebar archive thing. And I also love the tip you gave about the FAQ section. Writing it in a way that their people are asking the questions, writing it in a way that you know what I'm trying to say. The way that the client is trying to, why am I in charge of this podcast? What is wrong with me? The way that their client is phrasing the question is what you meant, right?
Right.
Okay,
Right.
cool. I love that. This has been super valuable. Let me check one more time to make sure we don't have any other questions from the audience. You've got a super cool freebie for everybody. Do you want to tell them what it is while I pop the link into the free Facebook group?
Sure. Yes, I have a free SEO mini course that I've had up for a little while, and it's still relevant. Like, people are absolutely loving it. It's even more in-depth tips about what we're talking about here. I even go into a few other tips we can talk about, like speed issues are very important for search engine optimization. It's all about the customer happiness, and if your site's slow, they're not happy. So yes, I have a SEO mini course that I've gotten some really great feedback on. That is free, and it's like a 3-day course. So it's nice and bite sized, so you can start understanding and implementing right away.
I love that. That is so generous of you. And podcast listeners, that's going to be in the show notes. YouTube, it's going to be in the description notes. LinkedIn, I'm coming for you. I will post it in the comments under the live as soon as we get done here. Carrie, thank you so much. I have loved this. I know that everybody else has too. Is there anything else that you want to, like, where could everybody find you to connect with you?
Probably the best places to find me is on Facebook or on LinkedIn. They can just search on Facebook, Carrie Saunders, Athens, Ohio. That way you can find the right Carrie. And then on LinkedIn, I'm the original Carrie Saunders. So there's no numbers after my name. That's how old my account is over there.
That is hilarious. I'm the original. I am the OG on LinkedIn. I love it.
Yes.
That's amazing. All right, my friends, you guys know I'm in full swing right now this week, launching my 8-week group coaching program called Business Visibility Made Easy. This is the one where I teach over 10 organic visibility and list growth strategies to get your list growing, get more leads coming in every day, and get you to that consistent monthly income that you want. And I launched this program with free live masterclasses where I actually teach you. Yes, I do. I don't like fluff. I don't like to waste people's time. I like to get straight to the point. So I'm going to teach you 4 strategies that even if you don't join my program, you could use that very day to increase your visibility, increase your list growth and your leads. Plus, when you show up live with me for the masterclass, which you're going to want to do because, as you know, you never know what's going to come out of my mouth. I mean, come for the 4 strategies, stay for the entertainment, right? But you're going to get 2 awesome show up live bonuses that I don't offer anywhere else. So I'm going to put the link in the LinkedIn comments. YouTubers, it's in the description notes. Podcast listeners, it'll be in the podcast notes there too. We've got 4 different dates and times to choose from. So grab a spot, then DM me and let me know what date I'm going to see you. Be here live with me every Thursday at 11:30 Central. Next week, I'm solo, and we're going to be talking about visibility and list growth. I know it's a shocker, but I'm going to bring you some fresh information. It's a training I actually did, full disclosure, a training I actually did back in 2022. And I found it the other day, and I'm like, this is really good stuff. And so I pulled it forward, repurposed that content, my friends. I pulled it forward, rewrote some stuff, asked ChatGPT to kind of help me make the framework a little bit flow a little bit better. And I'm excited for it. So I hope to see you every Thursday at 11:30 Central. And remember, I say this every single week, being an entrepreneur is freaking hard. I mean, Carrie just walked us through one aspect of being an entrepreneur today, SEO. And that's a lot to learn. So learning all this stuff that we have to do to be an online entrepreneur is tough. And then when it comes to sales and making money, some days everybody wants to buy everything we have. And other days it's like, where are all the customers, right? So we don't ever want you thinking that you're alone in feeling that way. It doesn't matter how much experience you've had, how much success you've had. We all have days like that. So it's important to get into a community of support with people who understand what you're doing, because let's face it, our friends and family think we're crazy most of the time. So get into a community of support, and my free Facebook group is a great place to go. Be a confident entrepreneur, get visible, grow your email list and your income. Have a great balance of the week and weekend. Remember, when one of us rises, we all rise. So that is why we have got to keep cheering each other on. Carrie, thank you so much for being here. Is there anything you want to share real quick before we go?
I don't think so, other than just thank you for having me, and don't let SEO be hard. Make it easy.
Yeah, don't let it make your brain hurt like me. All right, my friend. We will see you guys next week.